team?
We need to go on to where or?
Denmark, Denmark.
58 from here.
Warning, the pregame show contains flashing lights and images. Varoitus, alkushow sisältää vilkkuvaa valoa ja kuvaa.
Hey, Kim.
Team France, tervetuloa Ranskan joukkue. Please welcome Team Denmark, tervetuloa Tanskan joukkue.
Look at the officials for this game between France and Denmark. Tobias Bjork of Sweden, Mikko Kukarari of Finland. Those are the referees. Jake Davis out of Michigan and Yuri Ondricek of Czechia are the linesmen. We'll take a look at the coaches for this game. Philippe Bozan, been coaching since 2004 after a very good playing career that included a stop in the Quebec League. And Heinz Ehlers, a New York Ranger pick way back in '84, played pro in Sweden, Germany, and Denmark. And his coaching experience comes from years in Switzerland, and he'll go back there next year. He will coach Vis in the Swiss League next year. Denmark 4-3 last year, did not make the quarterfinals. France 2-5, including a 3-0 loss to Denmark. Take a look at the two netbinders. We looked at Sebastian Ylonen, stopped 27 of 28 in the overtime win over Austria. That was his first World Championship win in his 5th World Championship start. And he was very good for France and will need to be very good again today against a very quick Denmark team. Frederik Dickau stopped 16 of 17 in the win over Hungary, and that was his first World Championship win in his first World Championship start.
This will be an interesting game. It's an important one again for France. We keep talking about that. The teams near the bottom, you want to stay away from relegation. They need to win a game. They need to be able to get some confidence moving up and maybe steal some more points as they move on here.
As this one gets going, Matthias Lassen back into his own end for Denmark. Spins it in behind his own net. Marcus Lauritsen looking for Russell up on the right side. That failed to materialize, and Perret will put it back in. Fabre goes after it, cleared away from him. Jensen will send it up at center and across the line. Chance now for Russell, turns to the forehand, and he spins that one wide. As that line of Jensen, Ehlers, and Russell gets the start for Denmark. This gets cleared back down the ice. Anders Koch will chase this one back. Back-to-back Danish League champions for Koch with Aalborg. This gets flipped in, possible odd man rush. Bozan settles it down in the corner. Bozan will play it into the slot, and a chance there, and that got turned aside, but what a look. Right in the high slot for Gallet. Taken in behind and out of harm's way by Jesper Jensen. Jensen, 27 minutes and 18 seconds of ice time. That is the most of any player so far in a single game in this World Championship. That came in yesterday's game. This gets chased down. Again, odd man, but a pass out front failed to materialize, and this will get chased all the way back out at center ice. Taken by Ono. He'll send it on the right side, quickly up on the left side for Baudon. Lets the shot go. That's off a leg. And the loose puck taken by Ogard. Spins and sends it back into his own zone. Oscar Molgaard, 18 years of age. Projected to go somewhere around the second round of the upcoming NHL draft.
He can help us cause an awful lot, playing well in this tournament. Scouts are here looking all the time, and young guys like that playing in a situation like this. How well do you handle pressure? How well do you play against men, some of them 35, 37 years old? First time you've done that, the man's strength, how do you match up against that as well? Those are all the things scouts are looking at young guys playing at this level.
Icing called against Denmark.
Good chance this game can turn into a specialty teams one, depending on how many penalties, of course, each team willing to get. Are they going to get in each other's face and risk that? The best chance they had was Gallet, as Denmark really got crossed up there. They had all 5 guys kind of going sideways. Nobody was paying attention to anything coming in from the point, and Gallet walked in well below the tops of the circles, dead center. That's a big scoring chance missed.
Morten Paulson with the block. Paulson had the goal yesterday that gave him a little bit of insurance after Nikolai Ehlers had a couple of power play markers. Koch back into his own zone, plays it around the boards. Claro is there to break it up, and Claro will send it back down low for Perret. Back to the line it comes, and a long wrister, and Dickow will make the save and hang on to it.
Temperature going up a little bit here, a little pushing and shoving, and Nikolai Ehlers was in the middle of it. That's interesting. He's not usually doing things like that. He and Claro having a few words as both of them go to the bench.
Face-off win for France. Ono gets it down. Bozan will play this in behind the net. Adamo circles up top for France. Drops it off for Ono. He'll get chased all the way back in behind the net. Tight turns, trying to lose the checker. Bodker came to the front of the net, and Ono just didn't get out there quick enough to tap that in the open side.
Yeah, I don't think he anticipated this happening, but it's a good play by him. Ono moving down, cuts back into the middle, and as he comes out, I don't know if that was intentionally a pass. I think it was just an attempted shot that got blocked and ended up being in a great spot for Ono, but he wasn't able to shovel it into the net. Dickow came across, who had played very well in the last game out, and he was able to come across and shut off the short side.
Grabbed off the face-off by Anthony Reck, knocked off of his stick, and Denmark will carry in with Big Bow. Takes it to the front of the net. Save made by Ylonen. When Bow drops the shoulder and takes it to the net, he is very difficult to stop.
He got his stick up as he was coming out of the zone. Chokachvili went down. He felt like there should have been a penalty. He was down and out right at the blue line, way back in the Denver zone. That's in the Denmark zone, and that's why the scoring chance happened.
6'7", 258 is the tape on Bow. Bertrand back for Creenon. Creenon's cross ice pass. He was trying to get that over to Guebe. Matthias Lassen puts it in behind his own net. He'll take the return pass and then send it back for Lauritsen. Marcus Lauritsen sends it out at center ice, and now back into the Denmark zone. Now Matthias Lassen with that long lead pass, trying to spring Molgaard, and this was going to go for an icing call.
Well, I think both coaches know that they're going to play a very similar style. See back there, Chokachvili way in the background there. See, he was holding his face when he got up, and that's why France was in scramble mode there. And Bow using that big body, looping down in the corner, and he's not afraid of anybody. I mean, why would you be? People are just going to bounce off you. You got that size, you might as well use it.
Koch will get this up at center. Gets deflected in by Ogard and then put right back down into the Denmark zone, and now France will get whistled for icing, and that'll bring the face-off all the way back. Here's a look at Philippe Bozon. Our trusty producer, Peter Buchanan, mentioning this before the game. It's a very much on Mother's Day, a father-son combination. We got Philippe Bozon behind the French bench with two of his boys on the team, Tim and Kevin. And then, of course, you've got Heinz Ehlers with son Nikolai Ehlers on the Denmark side of things. Played back to the blue line. Patrick Russell backing up the defenseman Koch. Will play it around. Nick Jensen going in after it. Jensen trying to poke it loose. Wanted to make sure that free hand didn't get onto the body of the defender. Greenon will get to center and snap it around the boards. Jesper Jensen will start the attack on for Russell. Russell goes rink wide looking for Ehlers. Just beyond his reach. Greenon will circle out. Sends it ahead for Perret, too far. Clareau in on the forecheck, couldn't get a handle on it either. And it's rattled back in for the veteran Frederick Storm. Storm pitches it to the open corner. Morten Poulsen is on it. He'll send this in behind the net. And now Clareau will settle it down for France. Gets it across for Ritz. Ritz gets it outside on one attempt, and then the second attempt he'll send it all the way down the ice. Lassen is back for it, and Lassen gets it quickly on for Morten Jensen. Up it goes, and Ylonen there to make the save off Frederick Storm. Scoreless period one, France-Denmark on TSN.
Hockey would not be hockey without a mascot, of course. So here's our official mascot for this tournament, Spike!
Important game for both these teams, but Denmark needs to get some points early. Denmark's schedule: Hungary, France, Austria, Germany, and then Denmark closes 3 games in 4 nights at the back end of the preliminary round. USA on a Saturday, Sweden on a Monday, Finland on a Tuesday.
That's a tough way to finish. And not having tasted the big boys until the very end, you can say, well, we're going to play our way into this tournament, but when you have to turn it up that much, that doesn't always work. You need those aggressive games early on to set the tone and know what the bar is. So we'll see how that all works out in the end.
Pass up at center. Olesen, does he get a stick on this? He does not. And another icing call for Denmark. And the face-off to come all the way back.
Tough to get any energy when there are so many whistles in this game. For Denmark, Nikolai Ehlers showing up at the last minute and scoring 2 goals in their first game really gave them a ton of assurance and set the tone for their power play. And it's important to have special teams in a tournament like this.
And it was insurance that was the issue. They were having trouble with the injuries that Nikolai Ehlers had this past season with the Winnipeg Jets. Some concerns about how he was going to get insured for this tournament, and it happened about 15 minutes before the deadline was about to roll its way around, where he would not have been able to play in game 1, and what a game he had. 2 power play goals in the Denmark win. Molgaard at center snaps this in. Ylonen will stop it behind his own net, plays it around the boards. First on the puck, though, is Nicholas Anderson. Anderson will get it back for Koch, and he'll sail one in from the blue line. And Ylonen will snare that one and hang on to it.
Well, so far, no sustained attack to speak of for Denmark. They've had some some drives to the net, and that's always an important part. Storm has been good at that. We saw big Matthias Bau do the same thing. So many times it seems in today's game, whether international or in North America in the National Hockey League, that guys will be looking more to the middle of the ice rather than take that drive to the net, especially when you get down low and you're going to cut across the top of the crease. Are you going to do that, or are you going to bail out?
Jordan Pate puts this in behind the Denmark net, and we have the first penalty of the hockey game as Gallet was all over that loose puck that came up the far side boards, but then play gets whistled down, and it is Fabre who will go to the penalty box, and Denmark will get the game's first power play.
That's a dangerous trip too. That could have been injury time there. That was Ehlers, I think, going back there too. Yeah, he got the feet pulled out from underneath him. So here goes this power play. We'll see if they can get it going as effectively as they did last game.
Frederick Storm joins the top line. Marcus Lauritsen at the point for Denmark. Face-off win for France, and this will get cleared all the way down the ice.
The key for them is Nikolai Ehlers. Once they get inside the zone, he'll loop up on that left wing side and start coming downhill towards the net, choosing to shoot or pass.
There's a shot to the short side. Jalonen makes the save. Ehlers on the loose puck, on for Jensen. Nick Jensen will pitch this back at the line for Ehlers. Ehlers sends it back for Jensen. Jensen trying to get it back for Lauritsen. Nice play by Lauritsen to chip that on. Russell, Ehlers, Jensen in front of the net. Storm, couple of whacks. Lauritsen, the shot, save made. Back in front of the net, Ehlers from a sharp angle, and that got turned away. Nick Jensen sends it back for Lauritsen. On for Ehlers, scores! Nikolai Ehlers gets his third of the World Championship. All three have come on the power play.
And he didn't even have to start coming downhill the way he did last game. He only took a couple of steps and fired right away. So there must have been pretty decent screen that he had in front of the net. Let's see what the goaltender Jalonen can see. There's a good example. He didn't see anything. That's big Russell in front of the net. I don't know if that touched anybody, but it was the screen certainly that did the job because Jalonen just couldn't pick it up. But that's what that power play does, and that's how it gets set up. All of that was started because Lauritsen, you mentioned it,
yes,
made a beautiful little touch play under pressure where it looked like France was not only going to get it out of the zone, that they might have a dangerous rush going the other way. A little touch play kept that inside the zone and resulted in them making a couple of passes and then ends up in the back of the net.
So Denmark gets the all-important first goal. Although don't tell USA that. They have surrendered the opening goal in both games, came back to win both games. Bau gets tied up in the corner. Puck squirts loose, and Ritz will play it back into his own end. Long lead pass. Grabbed off by Trey, who is now the all-time games played leader for France in World Championship play. Was credited with the overtime winner with that deflection in front on the power play. Out through center ice. It is cleared in by Gallet. Jesper Jensen first on it, and he'll skate it out. Gets in across the line, tried to send it deep. It goes off the legs of Bertrand, and Bertrand will take the pass from Gallet and bring it back. Send it on for Adamo, and that quick shot got turned aside. Back to the front of the net, steered away. And now another change coming for France. Alexander Texier picked up a major yesterday. He comes on the ice now for France. And all those plays get reviewed, but there was no suspension. And he is back in the game for France and has the puck. Sends it on for Bozon. Bozon through for Adamo. And doesn't get much on the shot, and it goes wide.
I think Texier's fortunate he didn't get anything extra there, and they really need him in the lineup.
Passed up front, and this gets gobbled up by Anderson. Nicholas Anderson works his way to center. Plays in the DEL, the top league in Germany. There's a turnover. Bozon takes it to the outside. He was on the backhand, drops it back. And a bullet from the high slot from Guebi went wide. Clairot back for Guebi. Guebi puts it to the front of the net. Steered away by Dickau after it changed directions in the high slot. Back to the front of the net it comes. Intercepted and cleared, and here comes Ehlers. Ehlers puts on the brakes, looks for some help. He'll pitch it back, grabbed off by Jensen. Jensen from a sharp angle. Save was made, the rebound was there, but grabbed off by Guebi. Works his way to the Danish line. That's as far as he can get. It was 1-on-3. And now he'll turn and make his way to the bench to complete the change.
The Danes have been sloppy, though, about defensemen moving in. That's two big-time opportunities right down the middle.
Knocked out of midair. And an opportunity there that went awry as Christian Weiss found some room. Pierre Krinon. Long pass up the middle that ricochets off a couple of sticks. And Matthias Lassen will go back. Lassen will swing it to the near side. Bow gets his pocket picked by Trey. And Trey will send it to the corner. Played back by Baudin. And now intercepted by Bow. Gets it on for Olsson. And he'll send it into the France end of the ice. Reich will play it right back in. Bertrand after it. Bertrand, I'm not sure if he overskated it or wanted that to get all the way back to the blue line. Trey is all around it. Now is Bertrand. Bertrand gets tied up in the corner. Spins off one check. That from Oliver Lauritsen. It's tossed to the front of the net. Now a battle in the corner, and finally on with the loose puck is Morten Jensen. Cleared up at center ice. Mikkel Bodker. Bodker crisscrosses, lets the shot go. Poulsen was headed for the front of the net. Bodker back for Poulsen. Tchekachvili gets him all tied up in the corner. Comes back to the blue line. And a shot by Jensen, or by Jensen, goes off a stick and up and out of play. Well, we talked off the top about the power plays for these two teams, and the only goal of this game has come with the man advantage.
It wasn't a fantastic scoring opportunity. It was a great shot taking advantage of a screen, and that's intelligent hockey, no doubt, from Ehlers, and getting that big screen in front by Russell. But as far as outright great scoring chances, France, from two of their defensemen being able to walk right down the middle, and the Danes not paying any attention. But Denmark on this last shift, there's a look at that shot, the motion in front and the screen, and the goaltender Lonen not being able to see it.
Ehlers does play that side on the power play with the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
And you made the point, this shot came from a little bit higher up.
he took advantage of what he saw too. He knew there was a good screen. Figured, well, you put it on the corner. If it gets blocked or something, it's still going to drop right there in front of the net, and maybe you get a rebound scoring chance. But that one went cleanly in.
Anders Koch tried to get that one through for Nicholas Anderson. That failed to materialize. Jesper Jensen back into his own end, drops for Koch. Denmark changing through for Jensen. Nick Jensen takes this wide. Jensen 1-on-3, sends it around the boards looking for Russell. Ends up on the stick of Lauritsen, the defenseman. He'll play it back down low to the near point. Matthias Lassen sends it down for Patrick Russell. And Russell gets double teamed. Goes to the forehand, and now another penalty coming up. Clairot is going to go for the hit along the boards on the near side, and that's going to bring some action as the Denmark player still down along the boards.
Yeah, that was Clairot that made the hit, and it's Ehlers.
It's Ehlers again.
Oop. That's the second time he's been dumped. He got tripped once for the first penalty, then he scored on the power play, and this time he gets whacked from behind. He lost the puck for a second, so he's really vulnerable, and he definitely gets hit from behind. Now we've got Lauritsen in the box too for Denmark. So that's got to be a reaction to the scuffle afterwards.
So the initial hit is under review, and that may be more than just two.
Yeah.
And then Lauritsen comes in, didn't like the hit. He gets 2 for roughing. And the referees, Tobias Bjork of Sweden and Mikko Kukari of Finland, will take a look at this.
Yeah, it's the second time they've had to do this. Take a look at a major. Alexander Texier on the other side of the ice. He got nailed in their last game, and that was a bad hit. And this one, the velocity of the hit, that always has something to do with it. It's when he lost the puck. And Clairot has already got him lined up. You see that? He's already got him lined up. But you got to realize when a guy's in a vulnerable position, that's what this is all about. The checking from behind rule that came in because guys were just getting wasted.
Ryan, you made the point early in this hockey game that Clairot and Ehlers were chirping at each other. Perhaps Clairot thought, here's a chance for me to get a good body check in on Ehlers, and and Ehlers loses the puck. The timing gets off a little bit. We'll see how the officials rule on this, but it's been a tough year for Nikolai Ehlers. Got hurt early in the NHL year, came back and played, got hurt in the final game of the regular schedule, missed most of the playoffs, got into the final game, got shaken up earlier in this one, and now gets the hit from behind here that the officials look as though they have now made a decision.
Clairot must have felt injured by whatever Ehlers said to him, and he went hunting. There's no doubt. You can see in the replay there's that hunting aspect, and that's got to go into the minds of the referees too. You can see the body language. You can see intent coming there, and when he hits him squarely from behind, I'd be shocked if this is not a major. Not sure what he said.
Second straight game, France will lose a player. Texier was in the third period of the game, and now Clairot, who's one of their top face-off men, took 19 face-offs in the opening game, won 11. And it'll be a 3-minute power play for Denmark. Lauritsen got the 2 minutes, so they'll start 4-on-4 as Clairot makes his way off the ice surface, and he is done for the afternoon.
We'll have to see when Ehlers is back available. There is a look at Ehlers on the bench. He looks okay. He's not being looked at by the trainers right at the moment. He's just sitting on the bench waiting for his turn to come out. But yeah, that's a big blow for France again. As you said, 2 games in a row now.
at the line will send this cross ice. 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Jesper Jensen. He'll send it down low. Koch all the way down in behind the net, gets it back. Jensen gets the shot from the line, deflected in front. Out there with Storm. Kept it at the line. Koch takes the pass from Jesper Jensen, tried to get it for Nick Jensen. And this will get cleared down the ice.
I think Chuck really forgot that it was 4-on-4. You know that? I mean, he just got to the puck and he shot it down the ice. And I think he's being reminded now of 4-on-4.
Ehlers and Patrick Russell will now come out up front. Another face-off win by France. Vincent Lorca circles back, drops it off in behind his own net. Here comes Alexander Texier. Texier with some speed, hits the line, tries to cut to the outside, does. Got himself in a little bit too deep. Matthias Lassen chases to the near side. Russell gets there first and gets it on for Oliver Lauritsen, and now back for Russell. Patrick Russell dropped it for Matthias Lassen. Not as much on that pass as perhaps he would have liked. Now up at center, Mikkel Bodker's after it, and Bodker gets rubbed out. 40 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Gallet drops it back into his own zone, on for Bertrand. Bertrand lets the wrist shot go. Dickau makes the save, and Bodker will have the loose puck. Bodker will leave it for Koch. On for Jesper Jensen. He rips a wrister in, and the save made by Ylonen. And we will take a break. 15 in the power before the power play. So Denmark gets the advantage of a well-timed commercial break. It comes with 15 seconds left of the 4-on-4. So Heinz Ehlers can send out his top power play unit. And then when Oliver Lauritsen comes out of the box, he's the 5th member of that man advantage. Shot by Ehlers to the front of the net. Russell was there, kept in at the line briefly, and then it does bounce out at center. Nick Jensen was knocked off stride. And a short-handed shot to the short side by Adamo, and that got blocked. And now Oliver Lauritsen out of the penalty box, and a power play for Denmark. Pette trying to keep that in the Denmark zone, finally gets outmanned.
For France, Adamo, had a decent year at scoring. Early on in the last game, it looked like he had some chances, and then he just seemed to sort of fade away as the game went on. They need him to keep pushing and shooting.
Ehlers with speed, cuts to the inside. Puck got away from him. Ehlers chases it down, sends it back for Nick Jensen. Jensen back for Ehlers. And Ehlers will play it back for Jensen. Cross ice for Lauritsen. Back for Jensen. Lets the shot go. Rebound. Russell had a whack at it, and so did Storm. And Ylonen, solid in goal, stands his ground, or at least blocks it, and hangs on to it.
Boy, Nick Jensen got a lot of that one. That was a terrific one-timer. That was a clean, crisp one-timer here. You could just barely hear the click. And look where that is. That's a wonderful television shot right there. You see exactly where that one almost went in, just inside the post on the blocker side. Nice job by Ilonen. And good job by France in keeping the front of the net clear so they could see the puck.
Ilonen was very good. Stopped 27 of 28 in the game yesterday for France. The overtime win over Austria. Came out of that game with a save percentage of .964 and a goals against average of .99. Mattias Bau will go after a loose puck. Gets a little bit of help on for Olsson. Olsson will play it back to the goal line. Bodker gets it back. Bau, Jesper Jensen on for Bodker. Mikkel Bodker getting pressured. Comes back for Jesper Jensen. On for Bau and back for Jensen. 1.5 left in the major penalty to Clairot. Jesper Jensen from Mikkel Bodker, skipped away from him, and then he gets pressured there by Gallet. But Denmark will hold it in. Back around the boards from where it came for Bodker. Bodker trying to protect against the checking of Fabre. Bodker walks it in, fires, block, rebound, scores! A fortuitous bounce for Mikkel Bodker. And Denmark goes 2 for 2 on the power play.
That's where coaches from the time you're about 6 years old, they always tell you, shoot the puck and follow your shot. And this is a perfect example. Bodker executes this in a great way. He's a lefty, so it sticks in the middle of the ice, so he's going to come in on a decent angle. He shoots it, gets blocked. And while the defenseman is fishing for the puck and he turns the wrong way, I think that's Gallet, Bodker finds it, catches the goaltender, Ilonen, who I don't think was ready, didn't know exactly where it was. There's a great look. That is great. You see, goalies will always recover to the middle of the net, which makes sense. They're going to take up the most room. He was expecting the path of the puck to come there. He lost sight of it for a second, and then the short side shot was perfect by Bodker.
So Gallet with the block. And the rebound right back to Bodker. So 4 for 7 for Denmark with the man advantage and another power play.
Yeah, and the effectiveness said it all for sure.
Nick Jensen lets the shot go and a right pad save made by Ilonen.
But it's definitely the best power play we've seen, Dennis. You know, movement and the different shot selections, the way they move the puck around, the way they take advantage of whatever space is there. And I think they might be getting another chance right now. And guess who's in the middle of it?
Nikolai Ehlers has the stick slashed out of his hands. I think it's interferences. Or what will the call be here? Yep.
Silly penalties. I mean, France, you got to realize that these guys are really good.
Right there, they thought there should have been a penalty to Denmark, is what the French bench thought. And then there's the reaction. And Bozon will go to the penalty box for interference. So it's a 5-on-3. 2-0 lead for Denmark. Lorentzen for Russell. On it goes for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers circles up high, dishes off for Jensen. He goes high, short side, off the outside of the post. Good retrieval by Russell. And gets it on for Ehlers. Ehlers gets it down for Russell. In for Frederick Storm, and he couldn't settle that puck down. Back for Jensen. One penalty is over. Cross ice it goes. Oh, Russell had time. Couldn't handle the pass. Russell back for Ehlers, so it's 5-on-4. One-timer, and again, the rebound right there for Russell as it came off the right pad, but got there a little quicker than he thought.
yeah. The first pass had some smoke on it, too, and he couldn't quite handle that one. So he's in a good place, but he just can't handle what's coming at him.
His analytics will be good. 2 scoring chances. Finish isn't quite there, but shot from the line, turned aside. Bodker will jump on the loose puck. Bodker for Olsson. Jesper Jensen Cross it goes. Bow shot got blocked. Jensen again on for Bodker. Bodker to the short side. Blocked and turned away. Morten Paulson as the first period comes to an end with all sorts of pressure by Denmark on the power play.
Yeah, no surprise here. We talked about power plays were going to be important, and this Danish power play is really something. France has got a problem.
Shots 9-6 in favor of Denmark. Power play goals by Nikolai Ehlers and Mikkel Bodker. 2-0 Denmark.
Shots on goal in first period. Team France 7, Team Denmark 6. Laukaukset maalikohdeottelun ensimmäisessä erässä Ranska 7, Tanska 6.
Good. Let's go. No, good play. Get to the box. Good play. Hey, easy boys. Good job, guys. Good. Stay outside.
Come on, boys, come on, boys. Push now, yeah.
Team France starts the second period short-handed. Ranska aloittaa toisen erän alivoimalla.
Tellement haut que je ne suis pas sorti encore.
Frederick Dickau faced 6 shots in the opening period, stopped all 6. Look at Oliver Lauritsen, the older of the 2 Lauritsen brothers. And penalties have been a storyline in this game, as Denmark, both goals coming with the man advantage.
Well, between the power play and you mentioned the Lauritsen brothers on defense, they've come through with some really good plays, both offensively, but a couple of really key plays defensively in the last game as well, too, that kept them in the running at times and enabled them to end up winning a game.
They both play in the SHL with Malmo, which is just across the bridge from Copenhagen. Frederick Storm will carry it in. 26 seconds left in the power play for Denmark. Nick Jensen takes it off the sideboards. Vela trying to keep an eye on him. Ehlers coming in. Ehlers had his stick lifted by Pere.
But I think that was the wet ice again, too. I think the puck had stuck on him. They put a tremendous amount of water on this ice. And early on, we've seen this happen in nearly every game in the second period, where in key situations sometimes the guy just, picks his head up to take a look, and he overskates the puck and it's just not sliding.
So Bozon out of the penalty box. And France back at full strength. Bow with the wrist shot. Rebound in front of the net. Trying to jam that through the pillows was Weiss. But Ylonen makes the save. Now on the backtrack, it's knocked away. Good play defensively there by Olsson. Adamo takes it off the backboards. Protects the puck. Sends it back down low. Bozon tries to find a little bit of open ice. And Jesper Jensen will poke it off his stick. Texier chases this puck into the corner. Jesper Jensen there first and around for Frederick Storm. Storm chips it out to center ice. On the loose puck first is Tim Bozon. Sends it up. Adamo trying to do something with it, but it gets up off a stick and out of play it goes.
To start this period, the French have to get some puck possession and get some confidence going. They sagged after that second goal for sure. And down to a couple of goals can look like a huge mountain to them. Goals do not come easy for them. But start making plays, and some of their skilled guys, the Texiers, they got to get some shots and some momentum and go for some rebounds and turn this momentum thing around a little.
Guillaume Leclerc, who does not normally get a lot of ice time, but with Clairot out of the game after the major penalty and game misconduct, has the puck right now and knocked off the stick of Leclerc. Makes its way back out at center. Oliver Lauritsen with that long reach. This gets broken up at the line. Good play defensively on the far side by Morten Jensen. And Denmark back into the France end of the ice. Off the backboards, a little bit of room for Anthony Reck. Gets to the red line and sends it in. Off the backboards for Matthias Lassen. Lassen sends it around, kept in by Guebe. And Guebe plays it down low, but a good defensive read. Matthias Lassen there to break it up, sends it down the ice, race for it. And icing is the call.
You wonder what the back-to-back misconducts have done to France too. I mean, 2 dumb penalties. I mean, there's just no excuse for that. That's why you get a measure, because you haven't made the right decision there. And so it has an effect overall, and especially you missing some key players, one in each game. That's another thing that France, part of the adversity that they're facing here.
Battle for a loose puck. And Lauritsen will let this slip for Ogard. Ogard gets it to the line, doesn't get it out. Or did he get it out? They ruled that he did. An offside now. Called against France. Cekicvelli, I'm not sure, agreed with the call.
Well, if Texier can get going for France, he's one of their most skilled guys. And 13 goals this year. This is his 4th time playing in the World Championship, so he's got experience. Played Zurich this year, of course, on loan from the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they need to get the puck on his stick a little bit because he's good on the ruck.
Centered in front of the net, misplayed in behind the net by Dickau, and a glorious scoring chance for France. And now the puck gets iced again. Almost a miscue.
And he gets a little reassurance from Koch. Anytime a goaltender gets out of the net, he a little lackadaisical about that one. Yeah, he didn't quite handle it the way he wanted to. Seemed to take his eye off it. It didn't come flush around the boards. Came off the boards a little bit, hit the heel of his stick, but at least he had the presence of mind to skedaddle back into the crease.
And Denmark very fortunate that it's still 2-0. Jesper Jensen drops it back for Koch, up for Ehlers, try to redirect, looking for Russell. Koch will try it again, and this time he'll snap it off the boards and send it deep. Yalonen plays it around, intercepted. Centering pass, though. Russell couldn't knock it down. Cleared to center no further. Koch breaks it up and sends it right back in as Trey couldn't get the pass across. Gallet. The long lead pass, and again, no one home. And an icing call against France.
Not a lot of fans here compared to what we saw earlier in the morning even, and yesterday, but overall game in and game out, these fans just had so much fun. There's so much dancing and singing all the time, and it's the typical World Championship environment. It's great.
Sweden and Austria yet to come here in Tampere. Another icing call against France. That'll bring the face-off back. And then just 2 games tomorrow. It's going to feel like a holiday for us.
Yeah.
But 2 good games. USA, Germany, and then tomorrow night, Sweden and Finland.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those.
Yes.
Those will be a lot. There'll be a lot of emotion involved in both of those, and some really high-quality hockey there.
And this building will be hopping tomorrow night, as it was last night for Germany and Finland, what was a very good hockey game. This gets intercepted. Olsson comes back in, and he snaps that one over top the net. Bow sends it back for Olsson. Olsson gets bowled over in behind the net. Puck does come loose. Bosk is there to try and clear it. And on the second attempt, France will send it out of the center. Texier is going to circle back in his own zone. Texier sends it across. Bosk is there to send it the rest of the way in. Texier chases it down. And Matthias Lassen gets a little bit of defensive help. Sends it on for Weiss, and Weiss through for Marcus Lauritsen. Marcus Lauritsen will drop it there. Morton Green plays it around. Morton Poulsen is after it. Came back to the line. Now an odd man rush perhaps for France. 3-on-2. Adamo cross ice save made by the defenseman. Going down to block it was Jesper Jensen. Back in again, shot, rebound. Oh, what a save. Dickow makes the save. I don't think Adamo got as much on that as he would have liked.
Excellent scoring chance, some big defensive plays here. It was a 2-on-1. And Jensen Abo, beautiful play there. Great read, the shaft of the stick laying down on the ice. That was the first chance for France. And then off this rebound, that's a big save right there. A defensive play right at the last second by Jensen Abo again. But then again, Dickow getting his leg across and making the save. So Jensen Abo really showing you why he had the most ice time of anybody in the tournament so far, with over 27 minutes last game, because he makes plays like that.
Where's the C for Denmark? Through center, this gets cleared in, and Lorca will send it back out at center. So back-to-back scoring opportunities for France, but it remains 2-0. Turned over in the neutral zone. Anderson. This goes off the heel of a stick, and this is taken and cleared by Adamo. Shot, score! They had some chances, and one gets buried, and it's a 2-1 game.
This is really well executed. Leclerc, who just came into the game, gets a great scoring chance, and he doesn't miss it. A weird play off the near side boards, and it puts the Danes in jeopardy here. Bounce off the side wall, and a beautiful pass across. Look, the goaltender is just stranded. There's nothing he can do. That's Rek making that play. Comes in on the angle, freezes the goaltender, and then Leclerc's timing is good. He doesn't race his way in. He just measures the situation and gets in that soft area as Denmark is trying to get themselves back into position. What a beautiful backhand pass there to set that goal up.
So a big goal for France by Leclerc, and it's a 2-1 game. Intercepted by Nikolai Ehlers, and trying to get out of the zone was Russell. Couldn't get out in time. 2-1 Denmark with the lead.
France can't afford to miss those kind of situations. I mean, what a great scoring chance that was. You got to hand it to the Danes. There's no doubt that beautiful defensive plays. Jensen Abo with both of them, obviously with a lot of help from the goaltender, but a weird bounce off the wall, and France misses a big opportunity.
Yeah, the odd man rush on the great play, as you mentioned. Then the missed play by Dickow, and then Baudin had the chance in front. And then finally, they do get one to get on the board. And trying to swing some of the momentum in their favor. Ehlers off the board. Jensen fires, blocker save made by Yalonen. Oliver or Marcus Lauritsen around the boards for Nikolai Ehlers. It got away from him. And Ehlers will have to scamper back into his own end. On for Nick Jensen. Jensen being watched on the play by Texier. Jensen knocks it into the corner. Texier gets a little bit of help there from Guebi. Guebi gave way to the forechecking of Weiss into the slot, shot blocked. After it goes Nick Olsson. Weiss will try and play it back to the line, and Guebi is there for France. Guebi up for Texier. Slows the play down through center. And this will be cleared in by Baudin. To the blue line and out. Trey trying to come up with it in front of the penalty box. It does get slipped back into the Denmark zone. Matthias Lassen had to dodge the referee, and then he takes a bump there from Big Trey. Again, jammed up along the boards and cleared out the center ice. Chakridjveli will slam this into the Denmark zone. Another puck battle on the near side wall. Finally, it does come loose, and Sasha Trey tried to use that long reach to keep it in the Denmark zone, but that didn't happen. Cleared up, and another icing call here coming against France.
The Danes have had this game under control for the most part. France has come with a pretty good push here. When you miss some big opportunities like that, sometimes it can really take away from your next couple of shifts. There's another look at that great chance and the goal that they did score. Leclerc coming in, and his timing is perfect more ways than one.
Broken stick on the play, and a break for Reck, goes to the backhand, scores! Anthony Reck has tied this game 2-2.
Talk about being opportunistic. This is incredible. Morten Jensen's trying to make a play out at the blue line against Reck, and his stick just collapsed in his hand, so there's nothing he can do. Plus, he's facing the wrong way. So Reck is going to make the play right there, and now he's got a flat-out breakaway from the far side of the red line. Real nice job. One good, smooth move. He starts his move early. He's at hyper speed. Just get it to the backhand. You don't have, when you're going that fast, I've always felt like you try to do a double deke, you start trying to mesmerize the goaltender, you start to get more and more in the goaltender's favor because you run out of racetrack. One good move, make a decision one way or the other, by shooting, by going left, by going right, make it early, make one move, and then make the right shot.
2 minutes and 41 seconds between the two goals for France, and we have a new hockey game. Fabre trying to jam that one in, grabbed off by Molgaard. Jesper Jensen gets to center, sends it across, and it gets dumped in. And now some jump to the stride of this French team. Lauritsen sends it on for Ogard. Ogard tried to drop it back there for Nicholas Anderson, and Bozon is on the loose puck. Tim Bozon chips it off the boards. Adamo at center, that's as far as he gets. And cleared back in, and on the puck is Gallet. Denmark getting a change in. Long pass up at center. That's as far as that play gets, and right back in for Patrick Russell. Russell has Ehlers with him. Tried to get it back to the blue line for Oliver Lauritsen. It was blocked. And Adamo starts out. Nick Jensen picks his pocket. Plays it down low to Russell. Russell trying to get away from Gallet. Sends it on for Lauritsen. Lauritsen with the wrist shot. Save made by Ylonen. Back for Oliver Lauritsen. Takes a look. Gets it to the front of the net. Nick Jensen looking for a redirect. On for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers trying to center it. It bounces back to the line. And Denmark in the middle of a defensive change. That allows some room for Texier. Texier works his way into that Denmark zone. He got around Morten Jensen, but now picked up by Ehlers, and Ehlers will slow it down. Texier gives him a little bit of a bump.
He's definitely a marked man every time they get a chance.
Bozon turned it over, scores! Olesen from the high slot on the turnover. And Denmark has regained the lead.
Well, timing is everything. The French coming out of their own zone, the turnover, and he gets a chance to walk right in it. Olsen coming into view right here, and he just let it rip. France trying to make the play along the wall, under pressure, try to go up the middle of the ice, and anytime a pass into the middle of the ice from the boards goes sideways, that means you have at least one guy stranded, and that allows for a lot of room up the middle of the ice. And you can see the coach not in big favor of making plays like that when it costs you as much as it did on that Olsen shot.
Huge goal for Denmark. We'll see how big, because some of the momentum in this game was shifting. There's a long wrist shot. Save made by Dickow, and he'll hang on to the wrister from Nicholas Ritz. 3-2 Denmark. One goal late for Denmark. Denmark hosted the World Championship in 2018, Copenhagen and Herning. And Denmark will host again in 2025. This is cleared around the boards as France and Cologne hosted a World Championship a few years back as well. Lordson puts this off the boards out the center ice. This gets chopped in. Mikkel Botker, who has a power play goal in this game, pitches that to the front of the net. Comes around for Frederick Storm. Storm plays it deep. And now taken and cleared. This gets flipped to open ice by Vincent Lorca. Spent some time in North America from 2011 to 2017. This comes off the backboards, cleared into the corner. At the line for Jesper Jensen. Or Jesper Abo Benson is his full name. Cleared through center. Molgaard will carry it in. Easy for me to say. Molgaard. After it off the backboards. He'll drop it off at the line. And Lassen couldn't handle it cleanly. And pressured there on the play by Anthony Reck.
You know who's played pretty well for France is that Chakachvili in both games. He plays hard, he plays rugged, in front of his own net, in the boards, in the corners, and he can shoot the puck from the point and move it on the power play.
Took France 2:41 to tie the game, and the game stayed tied for 2 minutes and 5 seconds before the goal by Nick Olsson.
An attempted fast break out of the zone is what they wanted, and boy, did France ever pay a big price for that. Olsen, and I think Olsen had just come on the ice for Nick Ehlers. It had been a line change, and so that happens so often, especially in second periods, where forwards get to step out right in the offensive zone, and defending teams will forget about a guy like that. You've lost somebody off the surface, and now the new guy coming on, nobody's accounted for him yet. Olsen came in at the right time and just hammered that one in the net.
For France, this start to this tournament, and they come up with a big win yesterday over Austria. They've got Denmark in this game, down by 1. Off day tomorrow, and then Hungary on Tuesday. And then they get the big 3, Finland, Sweden, USA, and then they close against Germany. So the scheduling playing a key part. Ehlers lets the shot go. There is a delayed penalty coming. It's going to go to France, and Fabre is going to go for high sticking. And they may go over and check the Denmark player.
see if there's any blood. Yeah. I don't think the referee's even sure where to look.
There's the stick coming up right there.
Yeah, it was Jensen, Nick Jensen, that got it. He didn't seem to be too concerned to show the referee.
So another power play for Denmark.
No Nikolai Ehlers to start it.
Fabre to the penalty box.
Team France, number 78.
Shot from the line, blocked by Ylonen. And this will get cleared past Jensen and down the ice. So the second power play unit for Denmark getting to start this man advantage. Bodker for Bow. Bodker does have a power play goal. Bodker chases it to the near side. Olsen is there as well, but it's picked up by Tim Bozan, and he'll send it all the way down the ice. Bozan, the son of Philippe Bozan, the coach, born in St. Louis, where his dad was playing for the Blues. And the captain, Jensen, will start the power play. On for Ehlers as that top unit now comes out. Ehlers to the line, has a power play goal in this game for Storm. Storm drops it back. Nicholas Jensen tried to go up top and misses the net. Lauritsen holds it in. Down for Jensen. Jensen gets pressured, comes up with the puck, twists himself out of the traffic in front. Shot deflected, and Ylonen the save, and he'll hang on to it.
Pretty aggressive penalty killing by the French, moving right up near the blue line. So when the Danes can get set up and get moving, they should be able to utilize that space between the forwards and the defense. But they want to keep it on that side of the ice too, the side that it was just on. They do not want Nikolai Ehlers over on this left wing side for Denmark to be able to do what he's been doing for a game and a half now.
Nicholas Ritz will hunker in for the face-off against Russell. Ritz wins it. And he'll send Nikolai Ehlers back into his own zone for Marcus Lauritsen. Under 6 to go here in the second period, and a 1-goal lead for Denmark. Here comes Ehlers. Puts it to the front of the net. That went off the stick of the defenseman Kreenon and almost caught the short side.
It was a good read by him. Those things are risky. He seemed to know exactly where his own net was. That was a good read to cut it off, because it would have been dangerous.
Turnover. Texier with the shot, and Dickow makes the save. Frederick Storm cross ice. Nick Jensen chases it down after Russell couldn't handle it. And this gets cleared down the ice, and that'll do it for the power play. Good penalty kill by France. One shot on the power play for Denmark and one shorthanded shot for France. Cleared up at center, and this will get cleared in by Nicholas Anderson. Ono plays it up the boards. Ruck knocked it free, and Ono sends it on for Bertrand. Cuts to the far side, sends it in. Dickow traps it. Plays it around the boards. And Lauritsen had to be careful with that one, as it almost got caught up in his feet. To the front of the net and into the net for Molgaard. And grabbed off by Bertrand. He'll give chase. Jensen for Anderson. Anderson plays it around the boards. In from the line was the defenseman, Bosk. Fabre trying to bring that to the side of the net. Dickow's down, gets a little bit of help. The pass for Adamo, knocked away from him before he could shoot it. Controlled though by Perret to the front of the net, and that was chipped to the corner, and Perret will chase it down. Fires the low shot, big rebound off the boards and just poked away before Fabre could get it. Bosk will hold this in at the blue line. And now France is changing, which gives Denmark a bit of a chance to clear.
Good shift by Perret. We've seen that from him at different times. He'll take a shift over, control the puck a lot, likes to use the offensive zone, uses the outside edges where there's extra room and creates some momentum for them. And he's made some dangerous plays. That was a good shift for him.
Close to too many men on the ice there for Denmark. Again, the good play defensively by Matthias Lassen to bat that puck away. Lauritsen and Trey get tied up in behind the net. And the puck is chipped out of harm's way. And Guebi is back for it. Up the middle it goes and deflected in by Boudon. Contact in the corner. Baudot trying to find it, gets some help from Bozan, but his pass is right onto the stick of Frederick Storm. And Storm will send it down the ice. 9-8 France with the shot advantage here in the second period. Ooh, Frederick Storm almost trapped that. It would have been odd man favoring Denmark. A floater up for Storm. He'll glove it down. Has to circle back out and then fires it in deep into the French zone. Off the backboards for Bertrand. And now 2 left to go in the second period. Marcus Lauritsen breaks it up. Frederick Storm looking for a change, chips it in, heads to the bench. Krinon back for it. It's turned over at the line. Koch will send it back down low. Russell behind for Nick Jensen. Nick Jensen will play it on. Ehlers will send it back up at the line. The shot got blocked. Koch jumps in from the left point. And now this will get cleared past Ehlers and down the ice. And an icing call against France.
Good work by the Danes coming back and regaining that lead. Nice job there. Putting some pressure on France. France looks a little fatigued right now. We're down the last minute and a half here in this second period, and it looked like they just want to get out of it. They've spent some time in their own zone, and again, when you get locked in there so far away from your own bench, it could hurt. And now you get an icing call. You get a little bit of a breather, but a lot of times it's not enough. A good push here by Denmark with this short period to go could be enough to sink them, get a couple of chances.
And a face-off win by Jensen. Ehlers. And the return pass from Jensen comes outside the line.
Yeah, that was an oops. They got one guy off for France.
Koch sends it deep. Nick Jensen couldn't come up with it. Leclerc, who got the offense started for France, in on the forward check. Adamo gets it back at the line into the final minute. Comes to Gallet. And he ripped one from the line that never got through. Cleared but not out. Leclerc holds it in at the line for Gallet. Gallet plays it to the goal line. Sharp angle whipped across in front of the net by Ruck. Shot off the backboards. Bit of a hold there that doesn't get called. Gallet sends it back. Boss the shot. Score! Adamo in front of the net. It bounced around and he taps it in. And in the dying seconds of period number 2, France has tied this game at 3.
Well, instead of Denmark really putting the pressure on France and maybe scoring a goal to end this period, that is, it's France that rebounds. They finally get out of their zone. They get some fresh troops out, and this is just a basic play. Net front presence. Adamo's taking up room in front of the net. Goaltender never sees it, and a fortuitous bounce for Adamo, who's a big reason why the goaltender never saw it. Finds it in his feet and is able to get it on his backhand and get in. That's huge for France. That'll be an emotional boost for them at the end of the second period.
6'6", 249 for the 24-year-old Adamo. Too much to handle in front of the Denmark net. And a 3-3 tie. And another good shift for Hugo Gallet. So the shots in the second period, 12-8 favoring France. France outscores Denmark 3-1 in the second. It was a couple of goals in the first period for Denmark. You add all that up and it's 3-3.
Yeah, it's seesawed back and forth for sure. That's what makes this interesting. Can you control those emotional swings back and forth? You got a 3-3 tie with 1 period to go. That's going to be a telling factor here along with power plays.
Face-offs are even, 3 goals apiece. 20 minutes, maybe more, to solve this one in Tampere.
Shots on goal in second period. Team France 12, Team Denmark 8. Laukaukset maalia kohti toistossa. Erässä Ranska 12, Tanska 8.
Come on, boys.
puck, you have the puck. Up, go for the puck. Good job, go, go. Good work, guys. Go, go, go!
Rek had a goal in this game as France and Denmark get set for a third period here. See what will develop. Better period for France in the second than in the first. They still ran themselves into some penalty trouble. Ylonen has been busy, has been solid. And at the other end of the ice, Frederick Dickhaus faced 18. 3 have slipped by him.
Yeah, it's been an interesting game, to say the least, as far as the momentum swings. Just when you think one team is, okay, they're starting to pull away, they're in control. Nope, come right back the other way. And how big was that goal by Adamo right at the very end of the period? That was gigantic. So a real interesting finish here to this game.
Another strong game by Nicholas Jensen. He's won 6 of 8 faceoffs, 4 shots on goal. Marcus Lauritsen, 16.5 minutes. Jesper Abo Jensen just under 16.5 minutes. Gallet leading France in ice time at over 14.5, and he's been solid. So the third period underway. Nikolai Ehlers trying to find a little bit of room. Slowed up at center ice just enough. That allowed Adamo to get back and get the puck. Ceccarelli will play this through. Fabre gives chase. Pass up the middle off a stick, and this will be an icing call against Denmark.
Early on in the second period, we were talking about France and not cashing in on big-time opportunities. Well, they started to get it going for sure, and they really cashed. And so you got to look at Denmark and say, why are you giving up these opportunities when it seemed like everything was going your way? But hand it to France, and that was the goal we were talking about, Adamo, in the dying seconds of that second period. And France comes out with a totally different attitude.
Texier throws that to the net. It sails wide, comes around the boards. And Gallet will chase it back into his own zone. On for Boudon to the line. Doesn't get deep and now bounces back out at center. Bosk will play it back. Gallet will set this up one more time. On for Texier, and Texier back for Bosk, and on for Gallet. Back for Bosk. Gets to the red line, knifes a backhander in, and Jesper Jensen will settle this down in behind his own net.
You have to think that Philippe Bozon, the coach of France, had to say, all right, boys, no stupid penalties, that's for sure. Control your sticks. Don't take shots at guys when they have their face in the glass. We are due to get a power play. They haven't had one yet. So let's play this the right way, and you're bound to get your chance.
It was the power play that won them the game yesterday. An overtime game against Austria. Olofsson intercepts a cross ice pass. He'll send the backhander in. Giving chase was Creenon. Comes by him up the left side boards, and Rek will send it back for Creenon, and he'll play it cross ice. Ono's looking for a change and ends up putting this into his own bench.
Yeah, the more I look at Marcus Lauritsen, boy, the more I really like this guy. He is a really good player for Denmark. We've seen him make offensive plays, seen him make the defensive plays, I mean big plays that are goal-saving plays. And the amount of ice time that he gets, and they get him out there against the big guys in France or whoever they're going to play at any given minute. And Lauritsen's come through for him.
Imagine in Malmo when they put the two of them up together, not a lot of room.
Yeah.
Trey trying to jam the puck loose. It gets flipped out to center ice. Ceccarelli will dump it in, takes a bump, and there comes the power play.
You just knew it.
It is going to be Marcus Lauritsen that is going to go for interference.
I put the hex on him right there, just talked about it. Yep. And now he's going for interference.
Heinz Ehlers is looking at you, Brian Engblom.
All right, let's see how it happened. And you know, as a former defenseman, I look at plays like that and go, come on. He did touch the puck. And yeah, he didn't have it on his stick, but he just, yeah. I agree with you. I feel bad for you. I got to say that because I didn't think that was a penalty.
So a big power play for France and a big penalty kill for Denmark. Which team will prevail? Texier sends it back for Trey. Skipped away from him, Bozon. Bozon and Trey are the two that had the power play goals yesterday. Bozon plays it back at the line. Checkage Valley sends it across. Shot. That's off the side of the net by Texier. Poked loose before Jesper Jensen could send it down the ice. Checkage Valley will play it across. On for Texier. Texier's pass goes off a skate. Bertrand, good retrieval. Bozon tees it up. Right pad save and a good one by Dickau. Bertrand controls in the corner. Drops it back for Bozon. Bozon. Checkage Valley for Texier. Texier gets it to the goal line. Played out front, and that was blocked by the defenseman Jensen. Bertrand is on it again. For Texier, up top it goes. Bozon takes the pass, walks in, takes a look, toe drag. Can't get it past Jensen. Trey. Sasha Trey, the captain of this French squad. For Bertrand. Bertrand lost it, and that will allow a clear for Russell.
That French power play looked like a mirror image of Denmark's. Texier on the far side, looping up and coming downhill. Exactly the same thing that Ehlers has been doing to them. I guess the French penalty killers must be going, hey, they're killing us with it. Why don't we give it a try? So it gives you good movement. When one guy moves, often others do, and that's a heck of a save. It was a really good screen in front. Excellent concentration there by Dickau and getting that left leg out and making the save. But that movement of having that forward come up high and then come down, that defender's got to commit. What are you going to do? You're going to come out at me. You're going to try and take the pass away. You're trying to take the shot away. Commit to something, and then I'll have a chance to do something else.
Break for Denmark as Justin Adamo was unable to handle that long lead pass, so that brought the face-off back. Good shot there by Recken. Another good save by Dickau.
And I'm a big fan of that. You got penetration on the rush. You don't have to set up. If you think you have a good look on the rush, take it.
Power play is over. Leclerc. Guillaume Leclerc spins out of the corner. Backdoor play. And it went off the Damo's sticker. He was in alone. Good pass there by Guillaume Leclerc. Nick Jensen sends it on, looking for Nikolai Ehlers. Pass failed to materialize, and Jensen will play it back into his own zone.
Yeah, Leclerc's come into this game, and he's had a huge effect. I mean, who saw that coming? That was after the major penalty, and then Leclerc comes into the game and makes some big-time plays.
Frederick Storm chases a loose puck, gets a little bit of help. Morten Paulsen after it in behind the net. Paulsen with a big goal yesterday in the Denmark win. Turns and spins it off. It's dropped off by Anderson, came to the front of the net. And this will get cleared out at center ice. Bodker on the backtrack on the loose puck. And Bodker will turn it right back up the ice. The long lead pass looking for Storm. And this will be an icing call.
Chockansville did a really good job. That attempted long pass. Chockansville is very aware of. I mentioned the fact that he plays hard. He also was good in the offensive zone of getting pucks through. But he's very aware of, in that case, it was Frederick Storm way up at the far blue line, at the French blue line, and they were trying the home run pass into the middle of the ice. And Chockansville going, I got you covered.
Sweden and Austria will be our third game here in Tampere. As a busy opening weekend will come to a close. There's been some good hockey. And we're in for a good finish here between Denmark and France. Texier poked off of his stick. Bozon, spinorama, trying to lose the checking of Lassen. Bozon fanned on the shot. And Matthias Lassen will send this ahead. In across and no room up the middle. Now a little more pushing and shoving as
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play.
we will get a stoppage in play.
I have Felix over here who will
talk about Austria's last game last year and a win over Great Britain. Italy was the team that ended up getting eliminated. France had a big win over Italy. Hugo Gallet with an overtime winner. So there has been some heroics by some of these teams to avoid relegation.
And the difference between overtime and regulation win or shootout, it can be a really big difference.
That 1 point, we've talked about that.
Yep.
You go back over the years and a team that you weren't supposed to maybe get a point out of, you do, and that turns out to be a huge point. Nicholas Jensen on for Nikolai Ehlers. Tries to get it back to Jensen and does. Jensen tried to pitch it out front looking for Russell. And that was intercepted by Vincent Lorca.
And so many times in a tournament like this, when you get a team that's in a situation, say like France, like what we're talking about, and then they win a game or two, it really upsets everything. Like the whole look of the entire situation going into the quarterfinals, somebody big or bigger theoretically is going to get knocked out.
Guillaume Leclerc throws that to the front of the net. Leclerc chases this down. Trying to get it out front, does. Comes to the near side boards for Bertrand. Charles Bertrand drops it back. Ono sends it down low. Leclerc is on it again. They work it out front. Trying to go high, short side, was wrecked. Didn't get that to the net. Bow couldn't handle it. Bertrand with the shot. That may have gone off the mask of Dick Howe.
I think it did, yeah.
Bow will play it back in behind his own net. The France forecheck again giving Denmark all sorts of trouble. Marcus Lauritsen will just send this up at center. Bow will send it in and head to the bench in a much needed change. Under 12 to go here in the third. Played off the boards and out to the line. Trey trying to barge his way in around Jensen, could not. And it's flipped back out where Guebi will turn it right back up the ice. Off a body and in. Jensen is after it. Jensen is getting pressured by Trey. Sends it up the boards for Frederick Storm. Storm trying to get around Guebi. Storm throws it to the side of the net. It was in a little too deep. Big contact there now. Is getting knocked down was Morten Paulson by Bozon. Trey will chip this off the boards. Lauritsen back for Koch. Anderson looking for some open ice. Finds a little bit, gets to center and sends it in. Bozon for Texier. Texier chips it through. Gallet trying to handle that puck, could not. Tekich Valley gets squeezed out in the corner as he gets double teamed. Marcus Lauritsen, no room up the middle or up the wall, puts on the brakes, plays it back, and both teams will take the opportunity to change. Matthias Lassen on for Koch. He'll dump it all the way in. Russell goes in after it. Justin Adamo on the puck. Flips it high, doesn't get it out. Nicholas Jensen couldn't handle it cleanly though, and Adamo does get it out on the second try. Green on to the line, no further. And back in, slap shot to the short side. That got kicked away as Olofsson let it fly. Now a race for a loose puck. And big hit there as Fabre got hit. Bow will carry it in with Weiss. Drops it back for Bow. Weiss heads for the front of the net. Bow couldn't get it to him. And back for Lorco. Nice bank pass off the boards. On for Leclerc. He'll swing it in behind the net. Anthony Reck goes in after it. Leclerc tried to get it for Bertrand. Weiss breaks it up, gets it to the line, but not out. Kept in. Bertrand on it again. Poked away from him, but it's into the slot, and Reck couldn't handle it, and that allowed Bow to bounce it out the center. Brought back in by Bosch, and we'll get a face-off in the Denmark zone. 8:48 in a 3-3 tie. Here over in Riga, Switzerland with a 2-0 lead on Norway. Austria and Sweden yet to come. Austria an overtime loss to France, and Sweden with a 1-0 victory in its opening game.
Some of these long passes, they can turn back against you here. We've seen quite a few of these in this game. It's one thing off the face-off to have your forward fly the zone and try that long pass all the way to the blue line. It's a bad pass. It's airborne like that one was. You come right back again. But what if you turn it over? You got to be careful about these things.
Into the corner for Marcus Lauritsen. Plays it up for Jensen. Jensen will send it, and Frederick Storm trying to get there to negate the icing, but Hugo Galle got there ahead of it, and an icing call again against Denmark.
Yeah, 3-3 game, a lot of tension. Some players don't thrive too well when there's constant whistles. It frustrates them. And you start making risky plays, trying to get something going here. Tie hockey game. You got to play the odds and make the smart plays.
Trey trying to center it, intercepted by Jensen. Up at center it comes, and Mikkel Bodker will send it in and head to the bench for that much-needed change. Čekrić-Veli sends it in on the left side. Kevin Bozon trying to come up with it in the corner. Canton, Denmark turns it up the ice to the line, and Anderson couldn't pick it up cleanly. And now Scheel will come up with it. Felix Scheel has not seen a lot of ice time for Denmark. Out there now with Molgaard and Anderson. Taken by Koch for Jensen. Jensen sends it on for Patrick Russell. Russell trying to take it wide. Got taken to the boards at the line. Jensen can't hold it in. Nick Jensen will back him up. Nice tight move there by Jensen. He gets dragged down. Play goes on, and Ylonen will send it on for Krinon. Ono having trouble with that pass as it was in his skates. But they do manage to get it out to center ice. Koch back into his own end. Marcus Lauritsen. Lauritsen having trouble, lost his footing and went down. This gets chipped back in deep by Pede. Pede got tied up. Marcus Lauritsen after it. Gets some down low help from Patrick Russell. And another penalty coming to Marcus Lauritsen with 6:51 to go.
A big advantage in the power play ops early on in the game for Denmark, and now it's definitely evening up. This is gigantic. Again, Lauritsen, who plays in this situation. A slashing call, just knocking a stick out of his hands. That's one of, and he comes down from such a high level. That's what got the referee's attention, I'm sure. And the fact that the stick ends up on the ice just crystallizes it. So 2 consecutive penalties by Lauritsen, and now a little bit of a feel for the power play for France. Can they do anything?
Denmark, number 22.
With the man advantage. Checkered Valley sends it across. Bozon back for Checkered Valley. The one-timer from that far side. Texier misses the target, has it again. Lets the wrister go, and a glove save made by Dickow.
Texier's mad at himself. That was well set up. They had everything that they wanted. Texier can really bomb the puck. He's got a terrific one-timer. And that was labeled for the top shelf on the short side. And I think he had the goaltender moving enough that he certainly had some room. Frederick Dickow had to go from his right to his left, but the puck went over the net, so he didn't have to do anything about it.
Russell and Bertrand for the face-off. Came loose. Ends up back at the line. Bozon settles it down. Watched by Russell. Checkered Valley back for Bozon. Into the high slot it goes. Bertrand back for Bozon. Checkered Valley cross ice for Texier. Right back for Bozon. Back for Checkered Valley. Blasted from the line, and that one went wide. It was his blast in overtime yesterday against Austria that was deflected in front by Trey that ended up being your game-winning goal.
I'm not sure why Texier made that quick pass back across right through traffic. That was taking a big risk, and there was really nothing to gain.
And now 1 minute in the power play. Played back to the line. Texier couldn't handle it. Adamo lost it in the corner, and Lassen will find some room and send it down the ice.
When Texier had such a good one-timer and a great opportunity, it looked like he had the same opportunity all over again. And he had a predetermined idea in his head to go cross ice with a quick pass. And he should have just pulled the trigger again, just hit the net this time.
In across for Anthony Reck. Drops it off for Leclerc. Back for Reck and around for Justin Adamo. 18 seconds left in the man advantage. Leclerc takes the cross ice pass. Sends it back from where it came for Reck. Reck tried to walk it in, and Dickow got a piece of that with big Justin Adamo on his doorstep.
Yeah. Big Justin Adamo, all right. He's like a total eclipse in front of the net. Reck thought he saw something. He was going short side, no doubt. And he just missed it. The goaltender, I think, got a piece of it. But that's the idea. I think they got to take those shots because the box is pretty tight through the middle of the ice. They're taking care of the seams.
Face-off win shot. Dickow the save. Where's the loose puck? Power play is over. And grabbed off by Frederick Storm. Plays it to an open wing, and Bosch is there to send it right back in. Ehlers waits for it. He'll chip this through. A race for it. Storm going in, and Storm got hooked on the play, and play goes on. Through center it goes. And in, and now a line change for France as Pate was going to go after it and elects to make the change, and here comes Ehlers. Ehlers sends it in. He was waiting for Russell to keep going in and maybe take that bank pass, but Russell puts on the brakes.
Ehlers was a marked man through the first two periods. It seemed like every altercation had Nick Ehlers in the middle of it. We haven't seen as much of him in the third period. He just hasn't been in the action as much. Whether it took a toll on him, I don't know. But France certainly paid attention. They also paid a big price by losing one of their men, Clairot, who got a major and booted out of this game because of a bad hit on Nick Ehlers.
Nick Jensen is up with it. One hands it into the France end of the ice. Checkered Valley is after it. Banked it off the boards. Bozon was there. Russell almost got there first. And now a race for it back into the Denmark zone. Marcus Lauritsen lost it to Texier, out for Bozon, and it goes off the shaft or off the heel of his stick. Good hustle there by Texier. 7 shots this period for France, 6 on their 2 power plays. Sent around Matthias Lassen. On for Frederick Storm, and Storm sends it on through. Morten Paulsen swings this all the way around the boards. Jesper Jensen lets it come to the line. Fredrik Storm puts it to the net. Paulson was there. Paulson drops it off. Storm tried to go high, short side, and grabbed off by Perret. He'll leave it for Leclerc. Leclerc will send it around the boards. This leaves the playing surface, and we'll get a face-off back in the French end of the ice. 3-3 in the third. Tie. Turned over at center ice. Ehlers on the steal. Ehlers tried to get a pass through it. Was blocked by Justin Adamo, and it comes back for Koch. And he'll put back onto the captain's stick, and then Jesper Jensen will try and set it up for Denmark. Back to take it is Koch, and plays it back for Jensen. On for Nick Jensen. Jensen will send it in. The former Vancouver Canuck goes after it, plays it for Russell, the former Edmonton Oiler. Back to the line for Matthias Lassen. Sends it deep and around the boards. Gallet will get this out. And Denmark back on the regroup. Gallet has spent the past 4 seasons with Kuopio in Liga in Finland. Here comes Morton Paulson driving the net. He had a big goal yesterday and a chance there for him. Here comes Bozon. Bozon to the front of the net, and this ends up in behind the goal. Baudon going after it. Baudon gets it for Texier. Texier trying to work it to the front of the net. Under 2 to go here in regulation. Comes back at the line. Valley lets it go through traffic. Hit a body in front. And finally grabbed off. And Morton Paulson, who drove that puck to the net on his last chance, will head to the bench on the change. Back in for Tim Bozon. Oliver Lauritsen gets it for Jensen. Jensen up the left side boards, and it gets deflected out the center. Here comes Oliver Lauritsen. Sent them time in the National Hockey League with Philadelphia. Played around the boards for Guillaume Leclerc. Leclerc trying to muscle it out. Denmark trying to keep it at that end of the ice. The officials let the battle continue with under a minute now in regulation. And this will get alley-ooped out of the French zone. Body contact on the near side by Leclerc. On Weiss. Trey is on the loose puck. Sasha Trey puts it behind the net, and the other captain will pick the puck up, that being Jensen, and he'll send it out the center. Bosch will carry it right back in. France looking like the more aggressive team right now, and some tentativeness from Denmark. Here comes Russell. Russell's going to try and take it to the net, and a good defensive play by Gallet. Nikolai Ehlers on the loose puck, and Ehlers whipped it back to the point, but it came all the way out the center. And Denmark will pick up a point. France will pick up a point, and they will play for the extra point. 60 minutes does not solve it. 3-3 tie. We are headed to overtime. France and Denmark here in Tampere.
The overtime will be played with one goalkeeper Koska varsinainen peliaika jälkeen tilanne on tasan, seuraa 5 minuutin jatkoaika maalista poikki menetelmällä 3 minuutin tauon jälkeen. Shots on goal in the third period. Team France 7, Team Denmark 3. Laukauksen maalia kohti on ollut kolmannessa erässä Ranska 7, Tanska 3.
So we get set for overtime between France and Denmark. 2 power play goals in the first period for Denmark from Ehlers and Bodker. And then in the second period, 2 goals, 2:41 apart for France. Leclerc got them on the board first, and then a breakaway by Ruck. And then 2:05 later on a turnover, Nick Olesen puts Denmark back in front, and then in the dying seconds of the second period, Justin Adamo, parked right in front of the net, finds a loose puck and ties this game up.
I would say overall that France has had the best opportunities that have not gone into the net. They get in the middle of the ice. They go to those areas that in an overtime situation, that's where you want to go. At the same time, you've got Denmark, who's had goals from guys like Ehlers in the past 2 games where they just shoot the lights up, you know, and it's right up under the crossbar, right inside the post. Which way's better? We'll see. But the more chances you get, in this case so far, in my mind, it's favored France. But now you got a 3-on-3 situation. So in some ways, all bets are off, right? It's more wide open. So maybe the sharpshooters on Denmark have an edge here.
Ehlers, Russell, and Lauritsen. Marcus Lauritsen will start for Denmark. Bozon, Čekić Valley, and Baudin will start for France. And that all-important first face-off. And now France will make the quick change as Texier will come out. Russell sends it across. Nikolai Ehlers looking for a little bit of room, chips it, tried to track it down. Ehlers on the puck, plays it back for Lauritsen. 3-on-3 in overtime, and on for Russell. Russell trying to twist his way away from Texier. Russell will drop it off for Ehlers and back for Russell. And back for Lauritsen, and he'll take it back out at center. And Denmark will start its first change. Here comes Nick Jensen. Jensen takes it wide. Jensen around the net. Čekić Valley trying to stay with him. Dishes it off for Jesper Jensen. Jensen having trouble settling that puck down. Plays it back for Jensen. Jensen walks it to the net, goes to the backhand and gets dumped. And a bit of a late call, but the hand does go up. And Denmark is going to go to the power play.
Čekić Valley is going to the box here. I think he's yelling at him, thinking that he took a dive. I'm not sure that this didn't look like a penalty to me. Just because Jensen went down, he drove into a narrow area. Let's take a look at Jensen. Čekić Valley is going to end up taking the, well, it is a hook. As soon as you turn the blade of the stick over, you're going to get a hooking call. That's a bad idea right there. So that is a call. I thought that he had just played hard on him, but when you turn that blade over, that's not a good penalty to take. Although, you know, Jensen's knifing his way east-west right in front of your own goaltender. You don't want to just stand by and go, okay, I'll get you on the rebound. So that instantaneous process for Čekić Valley, he went, yeah, I got to do something here.
2 for 5 so far in this game for Denmark.
And prior to that, you know that when Nikolai Ehlers came out and he had that little burst right through the blue line there, right off the start, Dennis, he was in. I mean, that was a brilliant little play. He kind of waited and slowed down and then burst through, and it was Ciacchiavelli who knocked it with the shaft of his stick out of the air. I mean, that's luck for me. He just taken a swipe at it like it's, we've lost this guy. That would have been a breakaway from the blue line in. So some luck there, and then some bad luck for Ciacchiavelli. So now a power play in overtime for Denmark.
And a timeout to rest Ehlers, Russell, Nick Jensen, and Marcus Lauritsen in this all-important face-off. Jensen and Ritz to the near side boards. It comes, and it will get sent ahead. Short-handed Perret takes a look. Perret lets the shot go. Dickow makes the save. Short-handed opportunity in overtime. Ehlers, he'll dance his way in. Ehlers sends it for Jensen. Jensen turns and sends it back for Lauritsen. And back for Jensen. Jensen will leave it for Ehlers. Circles in the France zone. Ehlers takes it up top. Sends it across for Russell. Russell plays some give and go. Scores! Patrick Russell in overtime. Power play goal. Denmark wins it 4-3.
This top line for Denmark has been outstanding. Russell in the middle, Jensen on one side, Nikolai Ehlers on the other. And what a sharp shot that was. On their power play again, man, unreal how effective this power play has been for Denmark. They're threatening everybody in this entire World Championship. You want to take a penalty against Denmark, you're going to pay a big-time price. Beautiful shot. Takes his time. There's the movement. He inches his way farther down. That pass down low and then back to him. He got an extra 5 feet, got some spin on it, and just ripped it far side.
Ylonen got a piece of it. Not sure he had a good look at it, but he does get a piece of it. Kind of goes off the left shoulder. And the power play, Brian, you talked about it at the start of the game.
Yep.
That the power play for these two teams in yesterday's games played a key part. 3 of the 4 goals from Denmark today with the man advantage, including the winner. So France, who had the power play in overtime yesterday to win, it's the other shoes, the skates on the other foot today. And Denmark in overtime gets power play and wins it.
It's the best looking power play too. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but the movement and the different looks that they show, really outstanding.
So again, we'll have the player of the game presentations. One more game to come here yet from Tampere. That'll be Sweden and Austria. And the player of the game presentations next, and then the national anthem of Denmark. As Denmark will go to 2-0. 3 points in yesterday's win, 2 points in today's win, 3 points in the tournament for France.
So in some ways, France got to be pretty happy.
Well, yeah, they pick up 2 points with the overtime win yesterday, and they do pick up a point today.
Another point, yeah. As tough loss as it can be when it's so sudden, literally in sudden death overtime, but the fact that they've done this against a pretty good Danish team, I think they'll take some positives out of it for sure.
They had 5 points in the entire preliminary round yet last year. They have 3 already this year, so.
Yep.
Best player of Team France, Ranskan paras pelaaja, number 81, 81, Anthony Reck.
Anthony Reck, who had the tying goal in the breakaway in the second period. Player of the game for France. Lots to choose from in this game. There's a lot of good performances.
Team Denmark, Ranskan paras pelaaja, number 15, number 15, Mathias Lassen.
And the defenseman Mathias Lassen is the player of the game for Denmark. This is picked by the teams who they feel played a key part in the game. And now the National anthem of Denmark as Denmark wins this in overtime. Power play goal from Patrick Russell. 4-3 your final as Denmark defeats France. And now the national anthem of Denmark.
Hyvät naiset ja herrat, jos pystytte pyydätte nousemaan ylös kuulemaan voittajien joukkueen Tanskan kansallishymnin. In Riga, the final score between Team Norway and Team Switzerland is 0-3. The 2023 IIHF National World Championship Tournament will continue today here in the Nokia Arena at 2020 with the game Team Sweden against Team Austria. Welcome. Vuoden 2023 IIHF jääkiekon MM-kisat jatkuvat tänään täällä Nokia Areenalla. Vielä ottelulla Ruotsi Itävalta kello 20:20. Tervetuloa. Ladies and gentlemen, the time between the games starts soon. Arvoisa yleisö, välissä nähdään ennen kulttua.
Anthony, no doubt a tough loss, but you now have 3 points after 2 games. What did you think of the fight your team showed today?
Yeah, I think we showed some character after 2-0. We get so much penalty during the game, so we try to keep in the system to go back on the offensive zone. And yeah, for sure, it's disappointing for us. We want to win all the game, so just 1 point is not enough for us. But at the end of the day, we are happy with the performance. Like, we show so much character in this team. We believe on us, so we are really happy after that.
You mentioned penalties. That was a real theme for France today. What do you want the message to be concerning discipline moving forward?
Yeah, I think we lost a little bit in the first period. I will don't go so far with what I think. I don't want to be in the trouble, but Yeah, I think we need to focus on us. Don't speak to the ref and just play our game. That's a mindset we need to have. But we did well for the last 2 periods, and we have some great chance at the end to score. So we need to be better in the next game. It's an important game for us.
You're trying to stay in the top division here. Your coach has said the first 3 games are going to dictate this tournament. How would you assess how the first 2 have gone?
On a 3 points, on est content, mais c'est pas suffisant pour rester dans le top élite. Donc le prochain match contre la Hongrie sera très très important pour nous.
Anthony, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
After a back and forth battle, you get the game-winning goal in overtime. What'd you see on that play?
I just tried to shoot it. I saw the D was a little bit out of place, and yeah, just try to close my eyes to shoot it.
3 of your 4 goals today coming on the man advantage. What's clicking so well when it comes to your power play?
I think we keep it simple. Guy in front of the net and a lot of shots, try to get the rebounds. So I think all our goals has been shot from outside the circles, so that's what we're trying to do.
You, Ehlers, and Jensen looking really pretty when you watch it clicking. What's the success to finding that chemistry?
I don't know. I didn't think we played that well today. I think we can do a lot better. But when we skate and we help each other, win our battles along the boards, that's when we're really good. We didn't really do that.
France was a team that was relegated in 2019. Did they surprise you at all today?
No, we played them in the exhibition games before, and we knew exactly what they were going to come with. They're a hard-working team, physical, so that's exactly what they came out with.
You got a day off before Oster on Tuesday. What does a day off in Tampa Bay look like for you?
Jeg tror, jeg skal ud og være sammen med min mor. Nu er det jo mors dag i dag, så min mor er her, og så må jeg gå ud og tage en kop kaffe med hende.
Thank you.
Tak.
Tak, Håkan. Ja, tak, Carlsen. Dejligt, tak. Tak, Paul. Godt job. Godt job, Håkan. Godt job, Håkan. Godt arbejde, Håkan. Godt arbejde, Håkan. Godt job. Tæt på Poulsen. Nu er jeg prøvet alt bare for at komme i gang. Så er det nu er vi i gang. Hej, igen! Igen!
The 2023 IIHF app. Featuring all statistics on your favorite players.